Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Okay, did you know that swapping just a handful of everyday words for academic terms can literally raise your essay grade instantly? It is absolutely true. If you're a focused learner looking to really elevate your writing, you are in exactly the right place today. We're opening up a vital toolkit. We're going to break down the essential academic vocabulary that can transform your essays, your reports, and your research papers from just, simple to highly professional. So, let's dive right into this.
Now, this explainer is built upon the foundational standards of top-tier academic English resources. It's designed with a really premium professional approach in mind. So whether you're a university student grinding out papers, a researcher presenting hard data, or a test taker prepping for the IELTS or TOEFL exams, the vocabulary we're exploring today is curated specifically for you. We are targeting the precise language that academic graders and peer reviewers are scanning for literally the moment they start reading your paper. 200. That is the magic number today. Mastering these 200 essential words is going to provide you with a comprehensive vocabulary toolkit. It ensures that any essay or report you write isn't just more precise, but projects absolute confidence. Now, we are going to look at the most important subsets of these 200 words today, just to get you started on the right path. But before we get into the actual vocabulary, we need to establish our core philosophy, which is perfectly captured by this quote. Academic writing isn't about using difficult words. It's about choosing clear, accurate, and appropriate vocabulary. So the crucial takeaway here is that our goal today is not to add needless complexity to your writing. You really don't need to sound like a 19th century philosopher to get a good grade. We just want absolute clarity and precision.
So here's our roadmap for this explainer. 1. Core research vocabulary. 2. Essential academic verbs. 3. Linking words. 4. Transformation practice. And 5. The writing challenge. Let's kick things off with Section 1, Core Research Vocabulary. Research, study, analysis, data, evidence, theory, method, result, conclusion. These foundational nouns form the absolute backbone of any credible academic report, methodology, or essay. Take a word like analysis, and quick tip, make sure you're stressing that second syllable, analysis. You simply cannot discuss research effectively without relying on top-tier words like this to frame your ideas. Graders actively look for these specific nouns to confirm you actually understand the academic process. Let's put these terms into action. Listen to this. Researchers collect data through a survey, then they analyze the information and present their findings. Notice how seamlessly words like data, analyze, and findings professionalize what's actually a very simple sequence of events. It doesn't sound forced, right? But it sounds incredibly credible and academic. Moving right along to Section 2. Essential academic verbs. So, nouns give us the subjects, sure, but verbs drive your arguments forward. Analyze, compare, contrast, evaluate, examine, identify, discuss, demonstrate. Replacing simple everyday verbs, like saying you're going to look at something or show something, with terms like evaluate or demonstrate, instantly elevates the entire tone. It proves to the grader that you're actively engaging with the material, not just passively observing it. All right, Section 3, linking words and flow. Words like however, therefore, moreover, furthermore, consequently, nevertheless, and although are your structural glue. You can think of these as road signs for your reader. They signal how different pieces of evidence relate to one another, and they hold a sophisticated academic argument together. And here's a really fascinating insight for you. University graders actually scan essays for these exact linking words before they even read the core content. No joke. They want to see if the structure of a logical argument is present before they dive into the details. Here's a prime example of this flow in practice. Although the sample was small, the results were significant. Therefore, more research is recommended. Do you see how although introduces a condition and therefore signals a logical conclusion? This creates a highly professional logical progression between two thoughts, basically guiding the reader exactly where you want them to go. Let's jump into Section 4, Sentence Transformation Practice. Okay, let's compare a basic concept with its academic upgrade. A standard sentence might say, "This research aims to investigate the impact of technology on education." Now, that's fine, but it's pretty basic. Now listen to the significantly improved formal version. Using survey data, the study analyzes the relationship between technology use and students' academic performance. I mean, wow, the difference in quality there is just striking. Let's break down exactly why that second sentence sounds ready for university submission.
It really comes down to upgraded terminology. Investigate becomes analyzes. A vague word like impact becomes a precise relationship, and it defines the outcome specifically as academic performance rather than just a broad term like education. This is exactly how you build a stronger sentence piece by piece. Let's keep you on your toes for a second with a quick interactive quiz based on the transition terms we just covered. Which academic linking word best completes a sentence requiring a contrast? Think about it for a second. You want to introduce an opposing idea. What word do you reach for? Well, if you thought of however, nevertheless, or in contrast, you are spot on. Using these specific words allows you to pivot an argument really smoothly and professionally. Master these, and I promise your essays will immediately flow so much better. And finally, Section 5, the writing challenge. Okay, I'm challenging you to apply the vocabulary you've just absorbed in a highly practical way. Take a look at these 10 specific words: research, analyze, evidence, significant, method, result, conclusion, technology, education, and development. Your challenge is to use all 10 of these words to craft a single, cohesive, academic paragraph. Don't just list them out. Actually weave them together to make a logical argument or to state a finding. It's a bit of a puzzle, but it's a great exercise. And that brings us to the end of our explainer today. I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. How will you use these essential words to elevate the next paragraph you write? Don't wait until your next major assignment is due at 11:59 p.m. Start practicing this academic toolkit immediately, and you're going to watch your writing become more confident, professional, and ultimately effective. Thanks so much for joining me, and keep learning.